Alright guys, so, Jesus Christ, this camera. Today, we're gonna start prepping the truck to remove the transmission tomorrow. I'm trying to keep it simple, keep the days easy, so today, we're just gonna do like simple prep and a couple extra things, but we're gonna start with the extra things and then we'll get to the simple stuff. But we're gonna disconnect the battery, try to remove the starter, drain the clutch fluid, hopefully take off the slave cylinder, take the exhaust off, remove both drive shafts, and I would like to repair the threads on the exhaust that were damaged because I got that, what do we got down here? Like somewhere in, not in there, not in there, right here. We have icon, the icon tap and die set. So there's the taps, and then somewhere down there the dies. So I think I have everything I need to repair the threads on the exhaust, so that's what I'm gonna try to do. Don't mind all this shit behind me. This is like a piece of flooring, and then this shit, that's not my bike. It's a bunch of the random shit that's not mine, so don't worry about that. But for now, what we're gonna start with, the easy stuff, is we got some LED lights. So the only light bulbs in the truck that aren't LED yet are the interior, like the cluster lights, basically. So like the e-brake light and all the lights behind the speedometer and shit. So when I do all my vehicles, they've always been green LEDs. So we got 2 packages of 10 green LED bulbs off Amazon, and then we got a package of white for like the check engine light, the brake light, turn signals, all the other things that I don't want to be green. Well, the turn signal ones I'll leave green. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the interior to get those in. So I got my 2 screwdrivers, and I also got these lights. So the corner lights on the truck there, in the corner right there, those are LEDs already, but they're white, and I wanted amber, so I ordered a 2-pack of amber LEDs on Amazon too. The Amazon lights seem to last. I've never had them go out on me, so I think the Celica, we had it like 4 years or something, and the lights, they worked the whole freaking time, never went out once. So I'm gonna install these when we get in the truck and remove some shit, and then I'll get back with you. So I'll be right back. So I get the speedo out, and I replaced the bulbs. These are the old ones with the new green ones, but it looks like all these other ones here, these really small ones, I've never had those before, so I need to order a set of extremely micro LEDs for those. So I'm gonna add these extra LEDs to my backup stuff, and I'm gonna install this again and see how it looks in there, because it should be pretty fucking bright now because I replaced all the backlighting ones. So let's go see. Guys, well, I'm done for now. It looks like I fucked up because those corner lights, those light bulbs that I got, did not fit. I just ordered what was in my Amazon cart, so those light bulbs are in my Amazon cart for a reason. All the other light bulbs in here are LEDs, so I don't know if I was buying them for somebody else or what, or if I'm just a goofball and I ordered the wrong ones. So that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and start doing some of the transmission stuff now. So I'm gonna take out drive shafts. I already put wheel chocks on the wheels in the rear from the trailer. I took 2 of them off the trailer. I'll leave a picture at the end of the video, but yeah, they are chalked up right now. And yeah, so I'm gonna take out some of these drive shafts. I'm gonna try to rip off the exhaust real quick. Maybe I'll take off the slave cylinder and drain the clutch fluid out, because I got a bottle of DOT4. I upgraded to 4 instead of 3 a while back because it holds higher temps longer. So we got DOT4. We're gonna put that in there. I might even drain the engine oil because I got an engine oil and the filter. So we might do that. We're waiting on some more parts that are showing up. So I'm gonna start doing something, and then yeah, let me crawl up under here and I'll show you the drive shafts that we're taking out. Be right back. All right, guys. I've been working. The UPS guy just drove away. You probably missed him. He dropped off 1, 2, I got 4 boxes here. 4 boxes there. But so far, battery disconnected. If you look down here on the ground, both drive shafts and the exhaust out on the ground. Pretty simple, actually. The front drive shaft is kind of a pain in the ass. You have to take the shield off, and then the back, or there's bolts on top, and the upper bolts are really hard to get to. So my way around it was putting it in neutral, rolling the truck back a little bit so the bolts moved, and then just rechucking it and doing all that. But now, let's see, look under here, front drive shaft gone, and rear drive shaft is gone, and then exhaust is also gone. And then we're gonna repair the threads up there on that because those are fucking toasted. Oh, the bolts down here. Well, the bolts are over there, but they're all stripped out. So I'm just gonna run inside and open all these boxes, and then I'll be right back. So I'll be right back. All right, I got the sway bar out now too for the front because it will be in the way of the transmission. I have new end links. The front ones kind of need to be custom made, so I gotta wait on those, I think. But I have stock ones I can put on for now. Bushings are fucking destroyed. In the rear, the end links should work fine. And I just installed, if you can see in there, new bushings on both sides. Alright, let's see. There we go. But I did put ARP bolts on those. So those are looking nice. And then for the front, I have the same right here. Bushings, and I put ARP bolts inside the box. I'm just gonna set that aside for now because I can't do anything with it. Got the power washer here ready for tomorrow. And yeah, here's the end links too, which are longer. They're about 1 inch longer than what these are. Yeah, about 1 inch longer. So not sure if these ones will just do it or if I should get the proper sized ones. I might try to put them in and just kind of eyeball it, see what they look like. But yeah, let me get back to this, and then I'll get back to you when I get doing more work. I don't remember where I called it a night last night, but I do remember it was like 9 o'clock, and then I worked out until like 1 in the morning. So it was a long freaking night. That being said, we're almost to the point where the transmission can come out. There's a couple more things I need to do. So that being said, I'll show you a couple things. Let me turn this camera on. So I got the starter unbolted, and I just can't get it out because motor mount is in the way, and then there's no way I can snake it out of here. It won't fit out of this area with the motor mount being in the way. Well, at least I can't fucking get it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the transmission out first, take off the back plate when I have the clutch and flywheel out, and then I'll snake the starter out from the back, and then we'll throw the new starter in, and then we'll put the transmission and shit back in. But that's out. Next, I just need to drain and unbolt the slave cylinder, and then we're basically done. As you can see, there's nothing left. Those are the plugins for those plugins right there are for the transmission. And we got the speedo cable undone. The exhaust is out. You can probably see the O2 plugs hanging around, or they're not hanging around. Maybe I tucked them back up in there. And then also last night, before I went inside, this was the last thing I did. I removed the transmission shifter and the 4-wheel drive shifter sitting in the box here, so those will get cleaned up before they get put back in. Even left myself a nice note: no oil, so I don't start the goddamn truck with no oil in it, because I drained the oil so we could do the rear main seal, because the rear main seal is leaking pretty bad. So we have rear main seal. We'll install that. I'm gonna try to get this steel braided clutch line put in before we pull the transmission out, because I could do that before my dad's gonna show up. So he's at work, but after he gets off, he'll show up, because I can't lift more than 5 pounds for another week. So yeah. And also then we're gonna go for the exhaust. I got exhaust gaskets, O2 gaskets, and new hangers for the exhaust. So I should be able to throw that on. And then put this back in the box. Okay, so, and then, here, I'll turn you around. Rear main seal, part number BS40674, and then steel braided clutch line. Got that from LC Engineering a long time ago, just kind of saving onto it. Slave cylinder, Duralast 11887. And then this right here would be the reverse switch, I want to say. Switch interpreter. JA449. I believe. Yep. Reverse switch. My reverse lights only turn on sometimes, and I know they work because they're LED bulbs that I put in there. And yeah, I'm assuming the switch went out. So next I got fork boot for the clutch fork. It's gonna be 31126-20060. Toyota part number there. And then the actual clutch fork with the spring inside. Part number 31204-35031. Fork, and the pivot ball for the fork. Unsure if that's a Toyota part number, but it probably is. So 31236-35030. Got it at yodashop.com, as well as the clutch fork. And yeah, it looks like the part numbers match, so that's probably what the part number is for the pivot ball. And then from LC Engineering, flywheel bolts, so we can bolt the flywheel back on. Pressure plate bolts for the clutch. And then come over here. This is just something I got to put the bolts in, so I know which bolts go where. These are for a 3rd gen 4Runner, so we're just gonna take those and move them to the side, because those are not gonna be for us. Vacuum line, I already did the vacuum line, so we don't need that. These are kind of for the future, but when we redo the front suspension with this stock, we're going to redo it with stock suspension before we do a long travel kit. So long travel kits in the future, stock suspension first, but these are just bump stops for the front control arms. There, those are going to be for the upper control arms. There's 2 of them, so there's 1, 2 per each side, so there's 4 in this box. Part number is 1200427. Well, actually, they probably use this part number, I want to say 8.9103R. R's for red, so yeah, that's probably the part number they're using. And then this bag right here is just a bag of body mounts. So the cabin body mounts in red, we got 8.4103R, R for red again. So those will be saved for sometime in the future for this truck. Then you got the clutch kit, NU31197. I'm not going to open the box yet. I'll show you a little bit later, but I did check. It's got a clutch, pressure plate, throw up bearing, and a pilot bearing, so that's good. And then Flywheel FW9103. Yeah, I figured if I'm taking this transmission out, we might as well do Flywheel and the clutch. And then since the starter has to come out, I bought a brand new starter, not a reman starter. This is a brand new unit, so that's gonna go in there next. Surprisingly, the starter only had a $10 core fee. I was kind of thinking it was gonna be more like $30 or $40, but can't beat $10. It's pretty good. So anyways, I'm gonna pop the hood here, and then I'm gonna use my snap-on drainer, and I'm gonna vacuum suck all the brake fluid out of the 4Runner there. And then, jeez, I can't even set it down. Yeah, I'm gonna vacuum suck the brake fluid out of the 4Runner, and then I'm gonna try to pull out the slave cylinder. And then I got a couple other little things I want to do before I get the transmission out. And then once it's out, I can start cleaning stuff, because that transmission's a freaking mess. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna drain some brake fluid. I'll be right back. All right, guys, don't mind me if I'm a little dirty. I'm working hard all day. It's about, I don't know, it's about 5 o'clock. What time this morning? We started like 9-ish this morning. This is when I got outside and I started digging around. But I also left today because we went to Park Rose Hardware and picked up new hardware for the exhaust bolts that were all fucking fucked, that we retapped and bought new studs, put new studs in, got new bolts, nuts. So I'll flip the camera, show you around what we got. Transmission's out on the floor, cleaned it up already, taped it off, washed it off. Drive shafts, I cleaned both of them, cleaned the cross member. Transmission mount still isn't here. AutoZone has it, so I might throw the old mount back on and then replace the mount when it shows up. But old clutch, flywheel, clutch fork is out. New ones are all in and torqued down. So tomorrow, the only thing we need to do is put the transmission in, and then put the cross member back in, put the drive shafts in. We're going to take the exhaust to the exhaust shop because we found a small hole in it. There's a hole by one of the O2 sensors, which I will show you. That is probably causing a leak, but other than that, we replaced all the gaskets on this exhaust, so I'll show you that too. Let me turn this camera around. Let's start here at the exhaust. I have this gasket that goes to the main exhaust manifold. That gasket is sitting in the bag right there. So let's start here. We got new O2 nuts, washers, and gaskets on both O2 sensors. New gasket in here, in between the flange there, and new bolts, nuts, washers, and new exhaust hangers. And that's the gasket for the end, and then the manifold or the muffler, and the hole is over here by the cat. It's right there, so you can see that that's obviously a place that it was leaking. It was leaking at one of these, and I wasn't sure if it was, I thought it was the gasket around the O2 sensor, but it might just be that fucking hole. So we'll get that hole welded up tomorrow. But here's the flywheel. As you can see, hot spots, hot spot, hot spot, hot spot, and then like all the way around it also is just got, like, there's spots everywhere all the way around it. So, and like this thing drove fine. It kind of had a weird pulsation sometimes, and I'm hoping this will fix that. I think it was just slipping in a couple weird spots. Not only that, actually kind of looks like there's cracks in here. If you zoom in, it's probably hard to see right here, you can see there's like fractured hairline cracks. And that's definitely not from removing the transmission. So that must have been there from the get-go. Which, another thing you can see here, this is not a factory clutch, which I'm assuming it's not a factory flywheel. Made in Korea. Made in Korea. No good. But as well, on the clutch here, you see hot spots all the way around. Here's a pretty bad one right there, right there. Here's another pretty shitty one. But all the way around, not so great. You can compress it too. If you just stand on it, you can compress the fins in, which that's shit. You should want some tension on that. And then the clutch disc itself. You can see that there's still some life left. Some of these pins are getting pretty close to calling it quits before you start hitting the actual metal. So it's probably a good thing that it's getting replaced. But you can also see that it's shit all the way around. There's groove marks all the way around, and this is the clutch side. So this is the side that would be on the clutch. The other side is the flywheel side, which is probably just as bad, being as there's cracks. I can see cracks. There's a crack right there. You could probably see it in the camera. Crack right there. This thing is garbage. I don't know what this is, but it ain't quality. Alright, and then we get to the transmission here, and I had taped off the shifters. Taped them off, tapped the tape down, pulled the rest of it off. It kind of peeled back a little bit when I was power washing, but power washed it all off. And the fluid's good because I just changed it a couple months back. I just checked it too. It looks brand new. Inside's looking pretty good. New throwout bearing, new clutch fork and spring. The pivot ball that goes behind here for the for the clutch fork to hold on to is also brand new. Brand new boot. And I did grease it, and we put spline grease on the spline so it does move around nice and pretty. And I put in the new reverse switch as well because my reverse lights were acting up every once in a while. So yeah, that is done. Drive shafts are cleaned up. This is just kind of oxidation. It's not dirty. So yeah, that drive shaft cleaned up. There's like 8 fucking, between these two, there's like 8 fucking grease fittings. So I'm gonna fill it with marine grease to hopefully kick out any water that gets in there. And then if we climb up under here, Jesus, you can see I still have the tool in there too. There's a new clutch, new flywheel, studs up there on the manifold. So that's all done. You got that brand new starter sitting up in there as well. Everything's torqued down to spec with one of the snap-on digital torque wrenchers. And then, yep, there's a rear with those new end links that I got put on last night. They are extremely nice looking end links. Super nice. So we're making some good progress here. Should be done tomorrow before I have to go get my child. There's that new starter too. So there's that. And we're waiting on motor mounts and transmission mount, but AutoZone's slacking on that, so it could be a minute before those show up. I do have the fluid. I did drain the fluid out. It's empty. Air compressor, vacuum things are in here somewhere. So tomorrow I'm gonna put some fluid in there, but tonight I'm going to install the steel braided clutch line. And also, when we were at Park Rose Hardware, it might be kind of hard to tell, there's a bolt lock washer, same with on there, new bolts for the slave cylinder as well. So I'm gonna get those installed, and then tomorrow when I get to putting the suspension back in, after that's in, we'll put in the end links and the sway bar bushings for the front, which are just, there's a part number, 24 mil. They're just the same. If I can even get them out of here. Sheesh. Alright, so yeah, they're just the same as what I put in the rear. Energy suspension, sway bar, end links that are 24 millimeter, it says right there. And then some ARP bolts, which I want to say these are 25 millimeter in length. They could be 20, but I want to say they're probably 20s. They kind of look like 20 mils. So yeah, those are what we're going to be using to hold those down. And then we're going to throw them on with those. And we're probably going to get some energy suspension bushings for these because I have new hex tubes coming. So they don't make sway bar links for this truck. So you have to kind of make your own. And what we're going to make is these. And this hex tube is 3-inch. And these are original 4Runner end links. Just from AutoZone. You can see the part number 1880565. That's the original part number for only one. I put both of them in here, but it's really, you only get one in a box. I'll put this over here out of the dang way because I got a bunch of trash going. So I'll pull one of those out. This one is not opened. This one is opened. Okay. So this is just an original replacement sway bar link for the 95, or I guess 89 through 95 Toyota 4Runner. It's got a 2-inch bar in here, and then when you add all this together, it's a little bit longer. And then this is the what's it, Northwest Overland Designs sway bar link for a 3rd gen Toyota 4Runner. These might not be the third gens too. They fudged up when they sent me my set, and the 3rd gen fronts have 2 balls, one on each end. And they sent me the rears, which I've already installed in the rear. They're 4-inch hex tubes. These ones have 3-inch hex tubes, which are 1 inch too long. So I ordered a replacement hex tubes. This one in 2-inch, because if we go down 1 inch more, it'll be accurate. So I ordered a 2-inch hex tube, and then I ordered a 4-inch for the rear, because the only way to get new hex tubes was ordering powdered coated ones. So I ordered the powdered coated ones in the correct size, and that's how I'm going to have a custom sway bar link set up on the front, because you cannot find adjustable sway bar links for this truck. So if you want to do that, Northwest Overland, and then you're gonna have to make them yourself. So far I'm about $250 in, and if I throw the bushings on, we'll be about $270, $280-ish. So yeah, so the sway bar link thing is kind of an expensive upgrade, but it's gonna be worth it because I'm not gonna have to replace those for a long while. And then might as well do them adjustable, because I'm gonna do a full adjustable rear, and we're gonna do a long travel in the front one day, so I don't know if I'll even have a sway bar up there, but for now I need to have a decent setup. So I don't have a race car, but we can make a race truck, god damn it. Maybe not with this 3-point slow in there, but that'll be changed too. We're in 3.4 with a supercharger one day, but it's all in the future. So I'm gonna take a quick little break, get something to drink, and then install that clutch line, and maybe install the slave cylinder. But then I might just start cleaning up some stuff. Some of the suspension parts are a little dirty. I clean them up and then get them sent out. Amazon's here, so I'm gonna go, and then yeah, let me go see what the Amazon guy's got. It's probably something good. All right, guys, don't mind me, a big dirty mess, but I'm making progress. So I'm doing small stuff right now. The exhaust is out getting welded up because we found that hole in there. So it's out getting welded up right now. It should be done pretty shortly. And then right now I'm just buttoning up a few things here. Let me get to the truck. I'll show you how far I got here. Oh. So as you can see, transmission is in the truck and bolted in. Clutch fork is in good. I need to bolt up the slave cylinder and bleed the system. Install the drive shafts after I get the exhaust back in there, because the exhaust is going to be really hard to put in with the cross member in. So we're going to snake it in, then put the cross member in. But yeah, I got to put the slave cylinder in, bleed the system, add some oil into here, and then we should basically be done. Install the drive shafts. I need to go get a grease gun so I can grease the drive shafts with marine grease. And then install the sway bar and the end links. And then hopefully I should be able to start the truck. So we're getting places. But I'm gonna slowly get to work, do a couple small things, and then get the exhaust and shit put up. But yeah, I'm gonna go install that slave cylinder and the sway bar and then get that exhaust. So I'll be right back. It's a new day. We're done with the truck. I just got back from a quick little drive. Took like 3 days, but the majority of it was me messing around because I didn't work necessarily all throughout the 3 days. So you could probably do this in a day and a half, 2 days max, but I wanted to make time for working out because it's pretty important. So I took a couple hours a day for working out. I usually work out a good 6 hours a day, so look at that truck back there. Anyways, let's get over here. I'll show you some stuff. Whoa. All right, as you can see, everything in the front here is done. Oil's in the engine. New starter, slave cylinder in there bolted up. Slave cylinder and starter. Transmission is back in the truck. Front drive shaft is in. Exhaust system back in the truck. Rear drive shaft in the truck, bolted up. Rear sway bar links all done there. And then inside the interior here, walk around, you can see that shifter assembly has been put back in. Second, third, fourth, fifth, first. Got a good clutch pedal right there too. You can see, Jesus fuck, you can barely push down. So yeah, there you go. The truck is all done. I still have a lot more shit to do, so you guys stay tuned. And damn, that truck looks good right there. Sheesh. Anyways, yeah, stay tuned. We'll have some more stuff coming up soon. I got a lot more stuff I want to do, and I have more parts showing up. So yeah, stay tuned. Subscribe. Might see some cool shit. If you're on second gen 4Runner, might get some good ideas. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.